Welcome back guys to another PvP build for the update 46 on my permablock tank, upgraded with subclassing, still using two Necro skill lines, Bone Tyrant and Living Death, combined with the Templar one, Restoring Light, or alternative the Earth and Heart DK skill tree. Let's get started with the skill changes first. Now with Restoring Light there are huge healing benefits. The biggest game changer is the active skill Restoring Focus, the Templar resistance buff, which heats an extreme amount if you're standing into the rune itself. Not a big deal on this kind of setup, we stand still anyways with the heavy armor skill Immovable. It's always on number one in terms of healing done, by far. On top it delivers a huge amount of stamina regain, not recovery, means over 240 stamina per second even during block, since it's not considered to be recovery, right? Huge game changer on permablock builds. Second active skill is Extended Ritual, a decent healing over time, with a long duration and an instant purge of 5 negative effects. But that's not all. With Mending as passive, our healing done gets increased by up to 13%, plus Sacred Ground for minor mending, and last but not least increase the amount of damage you can block by 10%. Brutal skill tree. A second option for DK enjoyer, the Earth and Heart skill line is pretty nice too, because of two things. First one is Cinderstorm, a broken active ground based healing over time, really strong, delivers on top passively with Mountain's Blessing, Minor Brutality, 10% weapon damage, which increase your healing done too. Second reason is the obvious one, Battle Roar delivers a huge amount of resources back, depending on how much ultimate points got spent. Now I personally prefer Restoring Light, has way more benefits than Earth and Heart, but for those who prefer a more DK playstyle without Goliath, or in general more spell wall usage, go with the DK one. Skills, main bar, X-Punch and Modify. Basically our spammable, it purges up to 2 negative effects and delivers over 500 stamina plus Magicka for each negative effect purged in cost of 2k health. This is probably the biggest advantage compared to non-Necro tanks. Over 1k stam and Magicka for each cooldown is completely busted. On top passively, it reduces the cost of all your abilities by 3%. Next up, the heavy armor skill Immovable. Delivers 6 seconds CC immunity and 5% block mitigation for each heavy armor piece slotted. A must-have for static PvP tanks. Drop this one and you instantly die after you get stunned, against obviously Templar targets. Next ability is just meant to be slotted, don't use this one. The one-handed shield skill Defensive Stance. Delivers passively 10% block cost reduction and block mitigation, really nice. Another skill just slotted is Flare. For major protection, 10% damage mitigation, healing contingency as flex spot, also burst heal for minor protection, and with the signature script Gladiator Tenacity, more damage mitigation. I mainly use it for the extra tankiness though. Another option would be Scythe, heals quite a lot, the stamina morph against multiple targets, can be a lifesaver with low HP, so up to you to choose here. Spell Wall as second ultimate, rarely used, only if I have to before Goliath is up, otherwise don't even use this one. Temporal Guard for minor protection is a good option too. Then you could swap out the FX script of contingency for something else like more sustain with minor intellect or endurance, or even the weapon damage buff for more healing. Offhand, Restoring Focus, talked about this one already, broken as fuck. Spirit Guardian, this little ghost provides a unique 10% damage mitigation, a nice healing over time, and creates a corpse after these 7 seconds, which is needed for our next skill, Mortal Coil. Another good healing over time, with basically 0 costs, and restores 170 stamina plus Magicka every 2 seconds, and delivers 3% extra healing just slotted. Next up, Vigor, healing over time, and 3k armor, you know this one. Extended Ritual, our main ultimate, Ravenous Goliath. This one makes you, yes I will say it, immortal for 20 seconds. Still need to hold block though against an entire Zerg, so watch out. On DK with the Earth and Heart skill line, simply swap out Restoring Focus for Beckoning Armor and Extended Ritual for Cinderstorm and you're Gucci to go. Setup wise similar to the previous one, with still Resilient Yokida on main hand and Leeching Plate backbar. Both the best choices by far. Alternative Crimson or Bahara's Curse are pretty decent too. All sets have something in common, they heal based on your damage done, which is necessary for our Mythic Pale Order 2, which heals overall quite a bit. Now our monster set Swarm Mother is extremely important here. It stacks up your opponents pretty easily, it pulls players towards you with only a 1 second cooldown. The idea here is to push our proc sets, especially Yukida. The more enemies are in radius, 10 meters by the way, the more healing you get. And I'm talking about burst heals in the amount of 20, 30k plus. It's ridiculous. Malubeth's monster set is a good option too. Delivers major vitality, 12% healing increase. Can be better in close corner fights, but in most cases War Matter is the way to go, especially on Templar setup, since we're missing on backing armor. And this filler 120 for the XHP. Armor types 6 heavy armor and 1 medium. Better would be full heavy, but I don't have Swarm Matter and heavier. Full sturdy for block cost reduction with prismatic glyphs for the extra Magicka stamina and HP. Full infused on the jewelry with block cost reduction and front bar, sword and board, one-handed empowered for the extra healing and a sturdy shield, and backed by ice staff in defending. Why not double ice staff or double sword and board? The reason is passive here, trifocus. While an ice staff is equipped, blocking costs Magicka instead of stamina. So like this we balance out our block cost with stamina and Magicka. Helps just for sustain in general. Race, probably one of the worst one. I'm done more. Better choice would be a tanky race like Imperial, Nord, or even Argonian. Mundus slot for the extra HP. Like this I'm at around 41 HP on offhand and 42 HP main hand. Vamp stage 3 for the undeath passive, up to 15% damage mitigation. Sugar Scouts, the tricep food is buff food. 35 points in health, the rest into stamina. Potion, the tricep potion. NCPs, do its rebuff. Ironclad, Endure Resolve, and Swift Renewal, which is slightly better than Focus Mending. Red one Sustain by Suffering, Paints Refuge, On Guard, and Bracing Anchor. Rotation. First of all, permablock. Don't drop it. The only exception is if you're already in Goliath and feel comfortable to heavy attack in between for more resource regain. Now, start the rotation always with immovable. It is mandatory to keep this one up on cooldown, so in best case every 6 seconds. Getting stunned against 10 plus targets will be in most cases your death sentence, especially out of ultimate. Next skill is our main here, Restoring Focus. Place it directly after immovable and assure to stand in it. It has a small range, so watch out for that. Follow up with Extended Ritual and Spirit Guardian. For the next one, Mortal Coil, a corpse is required. If there is none nearby, simply reapply Spirit Guardian at least every 7 seconds. That's the minimum duration before it drops a corpse. Then cast Vigor with healing contingency. Now, an extremely important part is to use X-Puncher modifier in between those skills. It will deliver the necessary resources and purge, so make sure to spam this one often enough. Otherwise, you get out of juice pretty fast. When Goliath is ready to go, I would still wait until it really gets uncomfortable and a must-have to use to spare simply some more time in between. Assure to always keep up all these buffs, but don't worry too much if the least important ones are not perfectly reapplied. Try to bar swap on backbar every 5 to 7 seconds to proc leeching and to reapply buffs if needed. Usually it's not enough to get attacked by an entire Zerg. You'll also get sieged quite often, but listers alone are not a huge problem. But if you're getting meat bagged, for example, move out as fast as possible. The healing debuff will melt you down. Same counts for negates. Move out or you'll die. It looks easier than it is. It's not just about holding block. It's way more complicated to survive an entire Zerg. But after a while, I'm pretty sure you get used to it. If you have questions, type them down below or add me on Discord. But now I'll leave you with some more tank gameplay and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Karma. What a fucking concept.